Alright guys, so today we are going to go over every single leader that we have now found out about in OP-06, which is all of them. So we have 6 leaders to go through. They've been slowly been revealed over the past couple of weeks, but we're gonna dive into it all. So obviously OP-06, we have the artwork revealed and it's coming out in Japan in just over a month. Really exciting. And yeah, so the first leader is Yamato. Yamato is green yellow, and it is the first leader with double attack. So it's 5,000 power, 4 life, green and yellow. Wano, it's the trait is Wano, it's a strike card, and double attack. So it has 2 effects actually. The first is double attack, the second is activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 3 or less life, attach up to 2 rested dawn to one of your characters. This is absolutely broken. Like I cannot possibly see a world where this card, this leader is being played and it's not just destroying the meta. Like I don't understand. Like both of these effects on their own is a really good leader effect. Like okay, pretend the second effect doesn't exist. We're just talking about just double attack. Like you don't even need to do much. Like your deck doesn't even need to be good if your leader just has double attack. Typically when characters have double attack, you can just get rid of them off the board before they can get that attack going. But your leader has it. How are you supposed to deal with an opponent when their leader has double attack? Now, obviously, like, you know, like this leader has just been revealed. Like the cards haven't been out. Like we don't know exactly how it's gonna play out. Like there are other strong decks in the meta. Maybe there's something that can counter it. But realistically, like, come on, like turn 2, if you go second, you put 4 Dawn on this leader, 9k swing, they're down to 2 life. And then third turn, like you can play some characters and swing like double attack. And then there's the second effect. The second effect is activate main once per turn. If your opponent has 3 or less life, attach up to 2 rested dawn to one of your characters. Now, there's so many leaders right now that start off with 4 life because they're, you know, dual colored leaders. And then even if they start off with 5 life, if you can land even one hit with this Yamato, they're already going to 3 life. And that means you can activate your effect and you can attach up to 2 rested dawn to one of your characters. STO1 Luffy is attached 1 rested dawn up to your leader or character. This is 2 rested dawn to one of your characters. Like this is insane. Now, you know, maybe like the way I can see like the downside, I guess maybe of this deck is that maybe you swing so heavy with your leaders and you're not developing your board. But even with like blockers open, like green has a lot of cards that can rest. Yellow in itself is very, very strong. There's a lot of triggers. There's a lot of life manipulation like effects. Like this is very strong leader. Now, how this will actually perform, we'll have to see when it comes out. But yeah, as of right now, like this leader is insane. But I love Yamato. Everybody loves Yamato. You know, I'm not like complaining about it or anything like that. It's more of just like I'm just honestly just so shocked that they created a card like that seems this powerful. Like, will it actually be? Like, we'll never know till, you know, it starts and everybody starts to play these decks. But yeah, but let's keep going. So the second leader is Vinsmoke Reiju. This is a great card. We're finally getting introduced to some of the Vinsmoke cards. Now, I know a lot of people were expecting it to be yellow because in set 3 we had like Sanji with the Vinsmoke trait. But as of right now, we're getting a blue and purple, which I think is honestly a really good combination. 4 life, 5,000 power, Vinsmoke family / Jerma 66. Your turn, once per turn, when one of your Dawn cards on the field is returned to your Dawn deck, draw 1 card. So it's a card draw. It's a card draw ability. We've seen a few decks like this. Vivi draws cards. Rebecca draws cards in a restricted way. Reiju is just drawing cards basically every turn, probably. Now, this deck, we'll see as more cards get revealed, but this looks like an exciting deck. Something seems like I might be interested in. Like, I do like purple. The purple blue combination is quite interesting. But yeah, like, I think this is a very good leader, very, very interesting. Seems like you'll be able to do a lot of interesting plays. But yeah, and moving on, we have Uta. We have red, purple Uta. Now, this is the third Uta leader we have. The first doesn't really count because it's not really playable at all, the red promo Uta. And then we have the green Uta from the starter deck that was just released in Japan. We're still waiting on it in the West. But this is red and purple, and I'm very, very excited for this. I might play this leader, but more than that, the fact that it's red and purple means that we're going to be getting some purple film cards. And if we're going to be getting some purple film cards, then there's a chance that ST05, my boy Shank's leader, is finally going to be playable. The problem with Shank's leader right now is it's restricted to film cards, and the only purple film cards we have are the ones in that starter deck. Now, in this card game, there's not a single starter deck that you can just play. Like, you have to make upgrades, and it's very hard to do that because I know there's a few purple film cards that was released in OP-02, but really there's not that many. So the fact that we're getting more with this makes me really excited for that. But talking about this leader, it's 4 life, 5,000 power, obviously film. When attacking, you may trash one film type card from your hand, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power until the end of the turn, then add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. Now, the downside is you're trashing a card, you may be losing some card advantage there, but it's going to be very helpful to, control the board a little bit more. Minus 2k, you can combine that with like cards like Fire Fist, Jet Pistol, Vistas, Marcos, anything clearing the board a little bit, and then you get to ramp one. So can't complain. This is going to be a really good card, really good leader. I'm very excited for this. And then we have Hody Jones. So new Fishman Pirate, 5 life, 5,000 power in green. That's a very interesting leader. Activate main. You can rest this leader. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 3 or less, or one of their Dawn. Then during this turn, you cannot add life cards to your hand through your own effects. Now, I think the second part of this effect is really interesting because it's implying that there's going to be a lot of cards in this deck that's going to make you pick up life cards. We won't know till we get all the support cards. But as for the first part of the effect, you may rest this leader, and you may rest up to one of your opponent's characters that costs 3 or less, or one of their Dawn. Now, personally, I think that is quite a big deal. Like, you have to rest your leader in order to activate this effect. Now, I'm very curious to see if they release some cards that gets to restand your leader, because I think that would be pretty cool if you had the ability to use this leader effect, and then you could add in some supporting cards where you could like spiderweb your leader back up or restand your leader so that you could actually swing with it. Otherwise, like, this effect would be nice if it was like a when attacking type thing instead of just an activate main and then resting your leader. But this has potential. This deck has potential. We will only know when the cards come out. But yeah, moving on. The second last leader, Gecko Moria. Now, this is a very, very interesting leader. We're finally getting some Thriller Bar cards. Love to see it. And it is in black. Now, what's interesting about this leader is it's 5 life, 5,000 power, 7 Warlords of the Sea / Thriller Bark. Dawn ×1, when attacking, rest 2 Dawn. So you're attaching 1 Dawn to this leader, and then you're resting 2 Dawns. Then you're going to discard 1 card from your hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into the trash, and play 1 Thriller Bark Pirates card with the cost of 4 or less from the trash. Now, this is similar to OP-01 Doflamingo, except OP-01 Doflamingo, you are playing a 4 cost from the top of your deck as rested. And with this one, you're playing it from the trash, so you know what card you're playing, and you kind of have a better pick and like you could maybe have a better situational card. But yeah, I think this is really interesting. I think this is going to be really strong leader as well. And yeah, and then the final leader, everyone's favorite, Thriller Bark Girl, Perona, green and black. So 4 life, 5,000 power. And I think this, I really like this effect that they've done here, which is activate main. You get to choose. You get to choose which effect you want. You can either rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, or you can give one of your opponent's characters -1 cost. Now I think it's great that you get to choose, because it's very situational, and because you're getting a good amount of green effects plus the black effect, you can choose based on what cards you have, what type of plays you want to make. I think this is really strong. It's going to be really exciting, and I'm very excited to see what type of alternate art leader cards we are going to get. But until then, we finally have all the leaders. You guys can start thinking about what types of decks you want to play and whatnot. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we will go over more cards as they keep getting revealed. But yeah.